from fear, from hunger or thirst, from the scorching of sun or the fall of the night. But I can tell you that on this path there will be help. I can tell you that on this way there will be rest. I can tell you that you will know the strange graces that come to our aid only on a road such as this, that fly to meet us, bearing comfort and strength, that come alongside us for no other cause than to lean themselves toward our ear, and with their curious insistence whisper our name, beloved, beloved, beloved.
Beloved, beloved, beloved. It's Lent. For some of you, you may remember that as I said earlier, as a dour season. How many fasted from meat, fish fries on Friday? Yeah. Other Catholics in the room who did other things, probably. I grew up on the west side of Grand Rapids and lived next to a Catholic family, 9 children. They were half of the neighborhood football team that played across 3 backyards. It was great fun. We just had a blast. Yes, I played football. I was sometimes a formidable center. Sometimes I was a sneaky running back. But what I got from my Catholic friends was this intrigue about their rituals, about, why they had to interrupt the football game on Saturday night to go to church. We went to church on Sunday morning. And Lent was particularly curious to me because of this fish fry thing. They went to church on Friday night to eat fish instead of playing football. And being the religious kind of geek that I was really curious. We didn't do Lent. We didn't talk about fasting or, this kind of introspection or reflection that goes with Lent, usually, when you hear about it. But eventually I ended up in a tradition that did honor Lent. And when I learned about this whole fasting thing, I was all in. Sugar, chocolate, alcohol, sweets, swearing, gossiping. There were other things. When the internet became a thing, I found myself with stacks of books that I wasn't reading. And so for Lent, I gave up book buying. It was difficult. I'm serious. And I didn't read most of those books that I bought. It was the mystery of what's captured in that book with that title by that author. Along the way, I was exposed to this notion that instead of giving something up, something that gets between you and God, what about putting something in that connects you more deeply to God or wholeness or wellness or goodness? And so I tried all those things. Walked every day, ate a salad every day. Those are the 2 I remember. I think that some of you are remembering. So what were the practices that you remember, or maybe that you've chosen?
Wednesday night potluck.
Wednesday night potluck. All right?
We've given up democracy.
Well, there you go. There. That's a trial for sure. Yes. And I may have a way to bring something in a few minutes. Thank you. What else? What else do you remember? What did you do when you were a kid, or your family tradition, or you don't remember? Yeah, Lori.
Good Friday, we stayed in from noon till 3.
Okay, noon till 3. That on Good Friday, that when the world became dark, according to the story. Yeah, there's a tradition. Confessions. Yeah, you gotta work those in some point. So put them all in Lent. Or renew that practice, or whatever, right? Sometimes our Lenten practices are just to remember these are good things to do, right? So, how do we decide what to do, what to give up? What's the next step on our faith journey? And it doesn't have to be for Lent, it can just be for a season, for the next era of your life. It can be until you establish a habit. How do we decide? That brings us to the story for today. And we have to start by understanding that this story takes place on the heels of Jesus' baptism. It's the Jan Richardson poem that Greg read. Jesus knows himself as beloved. The skies open, the dove descends, and he hears a voice. You are my child, my beloved. It's a story about all of us. If we truly are siblings of Jesus, it's a story about being beloved, always and forever worthy of love. No matter what we do or don't do, worthy of love. No matter what comes up when you think about Lent, whether you do or don't do it, doesn't matter. You are worthy of love. The second thing to notice in the story is that it wasn't the adversary who led Jesus into the wilderness. It was the Holy Spirit. It was God's Spirit that led Jesus into this 40-day period of time. That suggests that there's something good about this. There's something available there if we're willing to go. And 40 is a symbolic number in our ancient text, right? Noah was in the ark for 40 days. The Israelites were in the desert for 40 days, 40 years. 40 is a number that indicates completeness. So when Jesus' time in the wilderness was complete, when he had reestablished his connection with the holy, with who he was as beloved, with what his ministry was that he was being called to, that's when he could hear the adversary. And then the third thing to notice is that none of those temptations were bad things. They weren't like cheating or stealing or speeding or killing someone. They were all good things. Turn this stone into bread to feed people. Show God how powerful God is when you jump off the temple and you're saved. Own the lands, the empires of the world, so you can change the laws, bring democracy, make them just. These were all good things. And Jesus said, and yet, they're not my things to do. I can hear God saying in my ear, nope, nope, Nope. So what you choose to do, well, let's step back a minute. We're all good people. I've come to know you as good people, people who want the best for this church, for our community, for the world, for democracy. Good people. Nothing wrong here. You are beloved, good people. But does what you're doing right now bring you joy? Is what you're doing right now for the flourishing of all? Is what you're doing good that you've always done because you're supposed to? Maybe Lent is a time to just reconsider. What brings me joy? Does this practice really bring me joy? Does that letting go really bring me joy? What deep in my heart brings me joy? Now, you also might want to consider what you need right now. Frederick Buechner says that our calling is where our passion and needs meet. So needs is something to consider. For some of us, what we need right now is to hunker down and feel safe. We need solitude. We need time to meditate, time to be quiet, time to be away from the crowds and the noise and the doomsday scrolling. If that's who you are, maybe the Thursday night meditation service is a good place for you. Maybe being reminded of Sal's call for 10 minutes of quiet every day. Maybe it's going to the UCC devotional, the daily devotional, and just reading and contemplating on that for each day. Maybe there's another practice that you've let go of that brings you peace, that you can reinstate for this season. If what you need, on the other hand, is outward focus on service, there are plenty of opportunities for that right now. And in fact, what we'd like to do is collect those opportunities in the epistle. 5 calls, indivisible, anything that's nonpartisan that you're participating in that serves our community. We'd like to create a list of those things for all of us with links where you can find out more. So if you're involved in something, please send that something you think it should be shared. Send it to Julie, our epistle guru, or send it to me. I'll make sure she gets it, and we'll create a list. So there's the inward focus, there's the outward focus, but then there's the communal focus. For some of us, what we really need right now is to remember that we're in this together. If that's who you are, there are a couple opportunities. Sing in the Easter choir. That opportunity begins after service this morning. It's a way to bring joy into our community, to meet some new people, to learn from Stan. Join the choir. If singing isn't your thing, try the soup supper on Thursday night. We had 19 people join us for the soup supper last Thursday. And it really, there's a little devotional, there's a little kind of suggestion about something to think about or something to talk about. But it's really just about being together in safe space. The retreat house is a beautiful, safe space. Eating some good food, having some good conversation. If that's what you need right now, join us. You can sign up at the Isabel Graham Center. You can know Louise, raise your hand, know that you're coming. You can let me know that you're coming. And if you're online, have soup with us on Thursday night. We're from wherever you are. One other opportunity for community, and that's the Inquirer's class coming up next Sunday morning after worship. Yes, it's for everyone. If you need a reminder about what it means to be progressive Christian, if you need a reminder about what it means to be United Church of Christ, this is an opportunity for you to learn, to be reminded, to be renewed. There will be a community of people who are gathering who want to know more. If you'd like to know more, please use that little card in front of you in the seat. Put your name, email, so I can send you the details. Put it in the offering plate when it comes by in a few minutes. Obviously, there are other ways that you can go inward, go outward, or be in community with your tribe. Find that way. Find that thing that brings you joy. Jesus didn't do all the good things. He did the one good thing. He lived love. He brought justice. He spoke truth to power. He was a political being, not guns, butter. But maybe more important, it's just about changing up a thing. In small or bigger ways, it helps us stay nimble and flexible and adept at dealing with change. For some, that's the greatest challenge, adapting, growing, becoming. And if that's the only challenge or comfort that you hear this morning, that's a good one. The testimony of the ancients is that our God is always doing something new. It's just a season. It's just Lent. 6 more weeks. Try it on. Whatever thought came through your mind just now, oh, I should do that. That would make me smile. Try it on. See how it goes. If it doesn't work, let it go. Life is too short. I invite you in this moment of quiet to imagine what that practice might be for Lent, for you.